I think I like her because she's a little nutty like me. Now who's going to follow her? Well, this lady, I took the asset-based community development course with about a couple of years ago anyways, and we were actually working on the same team, and we worked on the Member 2 case when we were working on that. So she's from Member 2. She's an engineer. She's a leader in the community. She's a woman leader, Aboriginal woman leader, and she's a mentor in this program as well, and she's going to speak on behalf of the mentors. Mary Beth Doucette.
Thanks, Sheila. I was just sitting there and I was thinking, I don't know how I could ever follow that. And whoever put me up here in this time of the program, I don't know. Anyhow. So my name is Mary Beth Doucette, and like Sheila said, I'm here from Member 2, where I work as the Director of Quality Assurance. And I'm always happy to be back at St. FX because I did my first diploma here, my first 2 years here, 10 years ago or 11 years ago. And then I came back 2 years ago, like Sheila said, with the Coady program. I was invited back to be part of the asset-based community development certificate program, which was a phenomenal experience. The people at Coady are just so wonderful, and the people that come, the students that are participating, they are just so wonderful and eager and enthusiastic. It's inspiring every time I come. Then, after I met Sheila, I was asked back again, about 6 months later, to help with the asset-based community development certificate for the first cohort of the IWCL program, which was absolutely, again, an inspiring event. And this year, it's my huge honor to be able to be back here again as a mentor in the program. When Sheila called me and asked me to be a mentor for this year's program, I said no, actually. I didn't think I had enough experience, strength, or cultural awareness to be able to be a mentor. There must have been somebody else that was better and more suited. But Sheila convinced me, and I'm so glad that she did. The passion, the energy, the support, and the teachings that these women have shared has been so inspiring. It's been absolutely fabulous. And it's been healing. I am so humbled by your strength and your leadership abilities. To be a mentor to them was to listen, to be a friend, to help them believe in themselves, to respect and to support their dreams and their ideas. In the last few days, during the project presentations, we laughed, we cried, we laughed some more, and you all shared so much, and we cried some more too. And if there's only 3 things that you can remember or that I can encourage you to take away from the experience that you had, the first would be to believe in yourselves and your commitments and your communities. You all have very strong moral codes. Let them guide you. And when others try to bring you down, don't let them. Smile, be kind, understand that they're probably hurting themselves. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Ask your sisters, ask your friends, ask your colleagues, ask your family. You won't bring them down. You may even make them stronger. And so with that, I wish all of you the best. And I thank you. And I thank Coady. And I thank you all for sharing your energy and your strength with me. And thank you so much to Esso and Imperial Oil and ExxonMobil. You are supporting such great work. And I hope you continue, because you're helping our communities and our country more than you can even imagine. Thank you.
See what these women do? They touch you. Our next guest is an important person in the program. She has touched every single one of us. And a lot of it was with her voice. Angie Perkins is from Nunatsiavut, just like Sarah Anala. And I didn't know that they actually knew each other's family. And they have something in common. They have a home in common. And it was just, you know, God works that way. And I think that it was just meant to happen. And so Angie was chosen to present her project today, and she will do her presentation. Angie Perkins.
Thank you, Sheila. Okay. So, do you know what's the worst question another Inuit person has ever asked me? What kind of Inuk are you? Like he was more Inuit than I am, or I was the wrong kind of Inuit person. He challenged my identity and tried to imply that I was less Inuit than he. This is called lateral violence. My name is Angie Perkins, and I am an Inuk. After all the years of colonialism and oppression, a new type of violence has emerged within Indigenous peoples. It is lateral violence. So what is it exactly? It's the shaming, humiliating, belittling, damaging, and sometimes violent behavior directed towards another member of a group within the same group. Lateral, meaning sideways, and violence, which comes in many forms. We have been conditioned to continue the cycle of oppression, and now it's directed towards each other and not the oppressor itself. All too often, we have believed that this is normal behavior for our people, and it's not. My project focused mainly on Indigenous women and their understanding of what lateral violence is. I also focused on whether or not they had reconciliation processes in reference to lateral violence. I needed to establish whether these women were aware of what lateral violence was, but I also wanted to determine if Indigenous women have natural or instinctive reconciliation processes. So what I did was I took a group of First Nation, Inuit, and Métis women, and I interviewed them to look for themes or subjects in common, but I also wanted to look at how they resolved their experiences. What I have learned through this process is that Indigenous women have experienced trauma, abuse, rape, and so many horrible things during their childhood. I have learned that they do not have special reconciliation processes, but those women, the healthy women, have decolonized themselves. Thank you. It is within these women that we are learning to be more resilient, to persevere, to be strong, and to be healthy. That women are becoming empowered, creating change within their families and within their communities. They are breaking the cycle, and they are the life givers of our people. They are reclaiming their identity, their culture, and their strength, all in a positive way. It is with Indigenous women, whether First Nation, Metis, or Inuit, that we are becoming more aware of lateral violence. That we as women are beginning to talk about lateral violence, and we are starting to heal and become stronger. Indigenous people need to become aware of what lateral violence is and how we are oppressing each other as a nation. Ultimately, we need to stop. We need to stop projecting lateral violence onto each other. So in May, one of my mentor, Marie Delorme, had opened one of her presentation days with a quote, and I want to leave everybody here with that quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Mary Ann Williamson. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Right now, I would like to introduce a very important funder and person of Imperial Oil, who's a director of the Imperial Oil Foundation. She has taken so much interest in this program through its growth that she wanted to be here to say a few words. Her name is Sheila Whitaker.
It's a lucky name. You know, there's a saying in the theater that you should avoid acting with children or animals because they're likely to upstage you. And I think we have to revise that. Strong women, you can't beat them. Honored guests, Coady team, and most important of all, today, graduates. I'm so pleased to be here to celebrate your accomplishments. Not least because for me too, this is the high point of a long journey. The very first committee chair to which I had the honor of being appointed when I joined the board of Imperial Oil in 1996 was the Imperial Oil Foundation. I've taken other board roles since then, but the foundation has always been hugely important to me and my colleagues as we've been struggling to identify the kind of project that is most consistent with the values and aspirations of our company and where our contribution could achieve the greatest possible good. As it turns out, in my opinion, ABCD, asset-based community development, an approach with the Coady trademark all over it, is exactly the kind of concept that we've been looking for. But we at Imperial hadn't quite got there yet. Although with the best of intentions, we were wandering around through foundation land, making donations and funding buildings and the arts, rather than investing in programs designed directly to develop people, and through those people, the future of whole communities. We began to refine our approach by asking the recipients of support from our foundation to come and meet with us personally and discuss in detail how our contributions had actually helped or hindered them. That proved enlightening. But the biggest breakthrough was when Coady came along with their proposed community leadership program for Indigenous women. To us, that sounded ideal. Not only did it promise a credible approach to successful development of Indigenous communities, it also was setting out to achieve its goals through the empowerment of women, which just happens to be a long-time personal crusade of mine. Naturally, it was exactly what we were looking for. This year, with one successfully completed course behind them, the team from the Coady, plus Tiffany, a course graduate, came to talk to us. We were delighted by what we heard. We also realized that we at the Imperial Foundation had at last been fortunate enough to embark on our own process of asset-based community development. Because you see, you, the graduates of the leadership program, are the assets. The highly valuable assets of your own people, of your whole community, and of Canada. I just want you to know how hugely proud we are of all of you. Thank you.
It's because of people like Sheila who work in these companies that have so much energy and faith and passion for women's empowerment and leadership that this program exists. So I'd like to give her a little gift from the IWICL program. Our next guest speaker is she's so excited, I love it. Really, these ladies here in this room, these 15 graduates, chose the right person. And when we told her that she was going to be the valedictorian, she goes, "Is that a good thing?" Melinda Labucan from the Northwest Territories, from Fort Good Hope, Northwest Territories, is Dene woman. She's a mother, and she touched our hearts from day one, all the way through, and we saw her growth, and I'm so glad that she's coming up here to be the valedictorian speaker. So Melinda, come on up.
Thank you, Sheila. Have you ever felt like your mouth is shaking and it wants to run? Mine is ready to go. So I begin. There was a woman praying to the Creator, begging and begging. Please, please, Creator, let me win millions of dollars. And this would be her prayer every night. The Creator spoke, and he said, "Please, please, my daughter, buy a ticket." The teaching of this story is, if you really want something in life, you have to do the action. The Indigenous women of the IWICL program carry a message. As Indigenous leaders, we are the carriers of many teachings. Over the course of the past 4 months, We set out on our journeys, and little did we know it was an adventure to remember. So what happened on our adventure? Together we formed a sisterhood of acceptance. We encouraged each other. We honored each other's identity. We listened, we laughed, and of course, many tears. But most of all, we supported each other. We supported each other. Together, we helped heal one another, our families, our friends, and anyone who came into our path. In order to know where you are going, you must first know where you came from. I was 7 or 8 years old, living out on our bush camp called Little Chicago, a 3-hour boat ride from Fort Good Hope. Our family lived there from September to Christmas. My father would trap and hunt. My mother would show us how to snare rabbits, make dry meat, gather ice, and gopher wood, and pretty much to take care of our home. Together, they taught us how to survive off the land. So every morning before the crows came out, I would wake up early to walk to my snare line. I can remember hearing the birds waking up and singing to me while enjoying the view of a white sheeted land covered with snow. As my little feet dug into the snow, getting closer and closer to my snares, I felt afraid of what I would find because I knew that if I caught a rabbit, that meant I would have to take it out. And it never failed. My snare line always caught a rabbit. Too scared to take the rabbit out, I would grab the whole stick with the rabbit and bring it back to my mom and get her to take it out. So what is the teaching of this story? Journeying with 14 fabulous Indigenous women from across our country. Together we shared our doubts. Many times we shared how challenging this was, almost leading to dropping out, hiding like myself, too proud to say that I need help. The overwhelming of daily life, families, bills, and our project. And yet, how are we to find balance? It almost seemed more easy to just numb up and climb back into our shell. But the continuous support from my sisters on Facebook, texts, and emails kept us true to who we are and where we want to go. I know where my sisters are going. From the goals they set and taking the iWickle program. I wish them well on their journeys. And with each other's support, we can all truly make a difference. I met a wonderful Indigenous woman this summer, and her name is Esther Supernold. She's a cancer survivor, and she told me we actively participate in our own lives. We create the choices we have, and we participate in them. So we have to believe in change, because we have to believe that we can make those changes in order for them to work. If you don't believe, then nothing happens. It's about faith. And if you focus and believe that it will work, then it does. On behalf of my Iwakal sisters, we thank you for the opportunity to participate in this wonderful program. Ever true to the vision of Moses Coady, we will become great ambassadors for social change in our communities. Masi.
Amazing, amazing. They touch my heart every time. They touch my heart every time. And I'd like to say hi to all those people out there who are watching this in at their computer, because this is a live cast, live stream webcast. So hi out there to the families. Our next part of this journey that we're on today, we're going to be giving out some things, and I'm going to have to ask a couple of people to come down. But I want to talk a little bit about this program and how we've moved forward and all the changes that we made in the past year. And I have to tell you that all of the changes from last year to now have really been truly done because of the complete support that I got from Linda. She's my managing director. She's the managing director of the International Center for Women's Leadership. It's ICWL, which is so similar to the Indigenous Women and Community Leadership, but it all works. And I'd like to thank you, Linda, for believing in me and trusting me and letting this program be the way it is. So Linda, come on down, and Sheila Whitaker as well, come on down, because we have a few gifts that we'd like to give to the ladies besides their certificate, and I'd like them to be here to give out the gifts. One of the gifts that we're going to give out is a pin, and this pin has been given out to all of the Coady graduates here, and we have thousands. We're in the thousands, I think more than 5,000 Coady graduates, and this pin is a X pin. It's leading up to the X ring, like if that's what they're going to do next. But we got an X pin, which you can all say that you share this pin with people from around the world. Get this pin as graduates, so you're joining them today to receive that. Another gift that you're going to get, which I'm really, I worked a little bit long and hard on this one, and I hope you enjoy it, but it's a Indigenous Women and Community Leadership scarf, which Sheila will give to you. So I have your certificates, and I will be giving them out right now. Yes. Sure, sure. She's asking me. Keep it on. Yes, yes. And all those IWICL graduates from last year who are looking on saying, am I going to get a scarf? Yes, you're going to get a scarf. So, okay. Our first graduate is Lacey J. Morin Desjardins. Angie Ann Perkins. Denise Gauthier Porter. Serena Provost. She's making me do this. Melanie Maxine Garo Smits. Rebecca Sirocco Paul. There we go. Kirsten Lacey Ryder. Congratulations. Carrie Lynn Hergott. Melinda. Grace Labucan. Lori Mason. Toby Kathleen Mitchell. Congratulations, Toby. Devin Carey Fiddler. Congratulations, Devin. Crystal Ann Denny. Congratulations, Devin. Thank you. Sasha Chabot Gaspé. Congratulations, Sasha. And last but not least, Jacqueline Anaquad. Congratulations, Jacqueline. Thank you. Yes, thank you. As part of our program, the mentors come in the second week, the ones that haven't been here from the year before, and we offer them an opportunity to get a certificate in asset-based community development. And I'd like to call up Sharon Bernard and Wilma Jackknife to receive your certificates as well. So should we take it all together or one by one? Okay, come in here.
Come in the middle.
Okay, right. She's so shy. Thank you. Congratulations. So right now, I'd just like to congratulate, because I'm saying all the names, I feel like I'm watching it from somewhere else in my mind. But I'd like to congratulate you all the graduates of the IWICO program. Right on, ladies, right on. Yes. I'd like to call up to the stage again Hubba, our resident elder in the IWICO program, to say the closing prayer. Hubba.
Kisuk, Walali, Dandeli, and Weaglanakwe. Waldasu, Chida, and Quajish came with each other. Oh, God, make it a geluk. Geluka Holgamia. Down there's a koi, Kisiganudamasultio. Edamoloni, Giskuga, Ulmadno. Adan hoi Gisuemo. Adan hoi Gisladwa, Adan a mudio. Glukudo, Gigmana. Nta a mug naladet Ganudmasult no dan Liabon waters and Liabon waters no Gigmana. That is our goal, to help our people. And I congratulate all of you for doing such a wonderful job. I've been there from day one, and I've been listening from day one, and you have blossomed to I don't know what. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm really proud of you girls. Thank you.
We've reached the end of our celebration, but we also have a special guest here in the room who's going to do a final song for everybody here, and she's a recording artist. She's also an actress that you see on TV. She'll be on a new show this coming fall, probably on the Aboriginal People's Television Network again. Her name is Andrea Menard. Not only is she a recording artist and an actress, she's also a mentor in our program. Andrea Menard.
Hi. So, my sisters, I stand here humbly before you, truly. And Angie, you said a quote that I think is very apt for the song I'm going to sing. It's a song that I wrote with my co-writer called Noonday Sun. And it's about shining your light. And I tell you, you 15 women are beautiful shining lights. And you're going to change the world. And I hope you will always remember that. Shine your light, shine your tears. They are holy. They come from the Creator. Allow that feeling to flow, all of it. It's holy, and it will help you take the next step. So this is for you, my shining lights. Remember, the words in the song are you. People stand around you and want that light. So shine it. You're like the noonday sun, 'cause you shine your light on everyone. And like a sunflower, we reach to the sky for your solar power. It feels so good when I'm around you. It feels so good. All that love that surrounds you, it feels so good when you shine your noonday light. It's the brightest time of my day, so shine your noonday light. If I could harness that energy, I would turn dark to bright. Then I just might make this whole world right. Take your light and shine it on me. You're my own vitamin D that I reach for when cloudy days get to me. One good dose of you and I'm smiling. Look, the skies are blue. You make it easy to believe in a world that's good. That sunny place that you live in, it feels so good when It's the brightest time of my day, so shine your noonday light. If I could harness that energy, I would turn dark to bright. And I just might make this whole world right. Take your light and shine it on me, like attracts like, and you like me. I guess it's time that I should be my own burning star. Sunlight dances on my skin. This is the happiest I've ever been. Sunlight dances on my skin. Noonday sunshine. Sunlight dances on my skin. I love you, ladies.
Thank you, everybody.